49er fans, the witch is dead. Jake Moody is gone. Never again will he kick for the San Francisco 49ers. What's up, everybody? Welcome in, Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen. Thank you for being here. Okay, hit that subscribe button. I'm at $3.99. If you hurry and be quick, you could be lucky number 400. That's not going to win you anything probably, but it would be really cool. So I appreciate you being here. He's gone. He's gone. They made the announcement today. I felt like the writing was on the wall yesterday in Shanahan's press conference when he said we're evaluating everything. I definitely didn't take, I know a lot of people were like worried because Shanahan, after Sunday's win and the immediate presser after the game, he said no question about Jake Moody. But guys, he's, as any coach should, he should not throw a player under the bus in the press conference. He just shouldn't. As much as you all dislike Jake Moody, like, the professional thing is not to do it. Now, most coaches probably would have been like, I don't know the answer to that yet. We're going to evaluate everything and go from there. Shanny just didn't want to. He's just different. He's just different. He's just going to not throw his player under the bus in a different way. Okay? He just doesn't want to give anybody any insight to anything, really. Like, he just wants to keep everything a secret. Just like he did with Christian. He kind of was playing it up last week like Christian might not play. And then he played, and he touched the ball 31 times. And Shanahan's default is to keep everything close to his vest and get close to the vest and keep everyone guessing. You might hate that, whatever, but that's what he does. So it's hard to really take him for his word about everything, especially when it was so obvious that he was so angry. That's the angriest I think we've ever seen Kyle Shanahan after, he missed the kick, and then when it was blocked, which again, I'll defend Moody. The block wasn't his fault, but it's just the kicking game in general, whatever. But he's gone. And as of tonight, they have signed Eddie Pinheiro. I don't know. I'm white. I'm a gringo. He probably rolls that R. I've never been able to roll my R's very well. So we're going to say Eddie Pinheiro, who, it's kind of weird. Like, he kicked for Carolina last year. He was 22 out of 26 kicks. So he made 22 of them. It was like 84%. And they cut it. They let him go. They weren't interested, which 22 of 26 isn't terrible. Like, obviously 49 fans would take that. And he actually is like third most accurate kicker in NFL history. I've seen a couple say like he's third for active kickers or something like that. 88.1% for his career. But like, the Panthers cut him. They didn't want him. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. He definitely is going to be better than Moody, because you realistically could not be worse than Moody, I guess, if you can't make any kicks ever at all. But this guy has a career. Like, he's done it for a while, hasn't had the yips. He's not the best kicker in the league, but feels like he's going to be right around average, which is great. And here's my thought on the kicking game, and I don't want to spend a whole podcast on a kicking game, but I just want my field goal team to go out there, and if it is within 40 yards, maybe 45, but we don't want to get greedy as 49er fans of the kicking game. If it is 40 yards or less, I just want to feel like this kick is automatic. I don't think that's too much to ask. I just want to feel like if my offense gets the ball to the 20-yard line, then I don't know, what's the old, you add 17 yards from, I think, right? Because they're back 7 yards and then the end zone's 10 yards. That's what I was always taught. So if you're at the 20, that's a 37-yard field goal. If you're at the 23, that's like a 40-yard field goal. 25, a 42-yard field goal. Let's say if it's 42 yards and in, look how we got there. If it's 42 yards and in, it needs to feel automatic. Anything more than that, like, please make more of them than you miss. But like, with what we've experienced with Jake Moody these last couple of years, like, I just want to know, okay, my offense is at the 25, we're getting points for sure. And then if we're at the 30, 35, like, we have a shot to get points. What's weird is I felt like Moody was better from deep. Like, I had more confidence in Moody, I felt like, when we were kicking from the 30 or the 35. But anything inside that, like, it was a nightmare. And extra points, like, I just hold your breath every time. So can Eddie Pinheiro do that for me? When we're in the 25 and in, can he hit a 40-yard field goal? Can it just feel automatic? Is the ball just going straight every time, or is it doing a lot of this? Like with Moody, you just don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for from the kicking game. And that's kind of what I'll say about it. Also, Grant Boyer, please, let's tighten the screws, okay? Blocked field goal, that comes back on you, and you're a well-respected special teams coordinator in the league. by everybody. So I assume you're going to get it right, but like that comes on you. Maybe it's the player that is there, but whatever, misevaluation on your part, I don't know, but that has to fall back on you. Please get it fixed. And let's just turn the page on our kicking woes. You don't have to be don't have to be the best kicking team. Let's just not be the worst kicking team in the league. Because, oh my goodness, we were going to lose that game. So that's it for Jake Moody. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Jake, I'll see you out in the workforce, buddy. I'll connect with you on Indeed. We can network a little bit. You got insurance salesmen written all over you. Good luck. Best of luck to you, okay? I hope nothing bad happens to you. I just want you to not kick for us anymore. Go kick the UFL, USFL, the XFL. What is it called now? I don't remember. UFL, right? Isn't that what it is? Anyway, 49ers. Now, it's good that Moody's gone, but definitely not good the injury front, okay? For the most part. Pretty bad. Pretty much as bad as we could have ever thought. So I'm rolling my sleeves. It's just too long. Kittle on IR. Okay, he's going to miss the next 4 games. That sucks. That's a pretty big blow. Now, given where we're at in the schedule, it's fine. I think it's okay, but it sucks regardless because why not just stay healthy? I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know what the answer is. Nutrition, strength coaches, they've changed training staffs once already in Kyle Shanahan's tenure. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. Just cursed. Is Levi's built on an ancient Native American burial ground? Like, I don't know. I'm open to all possibilities at this point. But I don't know. So Kittle's gone. Brock apparently is like up in the air if he's even going to play this Sunday. Now, I think this was the Kyle Shanahan, what he did with Christian McCaffrey last week. I think that it's probable that Brock plays, but Kyle's not going to say that. Kyle's going to just tell you, yeah, we'll see. Which, to be fair, that's not even Kyle knows something that we don't, but because really he's got to see how his toe responds. So it was a non-throwing shoulder, which I don't think is even an issue. It's a non-throwing shoulder. Like, what are we worried about? Like, you can get through that, I'm sure. It's the toe. How bad is it? I don't know. He finished the game. It didn't look like any problems during the game. Like, I couldn't tell. It was all a shock to us. Kyle said it just depends on how it responds in the next 24 hours. Well, he said that yesterday. I'm recording this Tuesday night. All I know is Brock is tough, and Brock plays through pain. The best example is his first season when he took over for Jimmy. He beats the Dolphins, beats the Bucks. In that Bucks game, he breaks some ribs or cracks some ribs, had something, and we had to go to Seattle on a short week on that Thursday night game, and he just played. He didn't even throw the ball that week. I don't think he practiced at all or even threw a ball, and he showed up and played really well. So Brock is one of those, like, if he can go, he's going to go. So unless he physically can't walk and he's like in a boot, I think you're going to see Brock play. Now, if you are watching this Wednesday, whatever time before practice, like, I don't think Brock is going to practice Wednesday, and I wouldn't freak out if that's, the case. I think he could potentially practice Thursday. Hopefully Thursday and Friday he logs limited practices and they're good to go. I would imagine they just hold him out Wednesday. Even if he's like, yeah, I think I could go, they'll probably be like, well, let's just wait a day. So don't freak out. If tomorrow he's not practicing, you really got to look Thursday. And then hopefully by Friday, he's getting a limited practice. That's what I think. And then the good news, the semi-good news, is Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings, it was not severe, and Kyle Shanahan said he's going to be day-to-day. So feels like Jennings has a good chance to play unless... I always feel like when guys are day-to-day, as long as they don't have a setback, then they're going to play. That's how I feel. He's just got to manage it. He'll probably limited practice Wednesday, and then as long as he doesn't have any flare-ups or whatever, like, I would imagine he plays with that shoulder injury. So what are we looking at for Sunday against the New Orleans Saints? I don't want to give like my preview yet, just because I don't know what Brock is doing. I'm hoping maybe by tomorrow we have like a clearer indication. But you're going to have Ricky. You're going to have Jennings. Hopefully, it's not a guarantee, but it feels like I think you're going to. You're going to have Kendrick Bourne. Welcome back, KB, number 84. What up? I'm excited for Kendrick Bourne to be back because Kendrick Bourne as your third or fourth wide receiver, like that's great. That's a very good piece to have at that position. Because, man, look at like Russell Gage practiced with the Niners all training camp. And the reports were that him and Brock had a good connection and good chemistry between each other, and then just nowhere to be found on Sunday. I don't know. I think Seattle has a good defense, so it might have something to do with it. But KB always got open. He played the Juwan Jennings role to like a lesser degree. He just great possession receiver. Great possession receiver. Now you don't want that guy to be your number one. You don't even really want him to be your number two, but perfect for that number three role. The difference between KB and Jennings, I think, is Jennings last year, when he had to be the guy, like stepped up and was the guy. His size, his physicality. Bourne is not that guy. He's a lot smaller, a lot shiftier, but just gets open. And that's what we need. We need guys that can get open. Not to mention, okay, so guys who can get open, love it as a number three option, a guy who's familiar with Kyle Shanahan, and a lot of the guys on the team. But the energy, just that he is a great locker room guy. Great guy to have in your locker room. All those practice shots from like the 2019 season are of KB like dancing and getting everybody hyped up and just being the life of the party. Like, he's a locker room guy. People rally around him. They feed off his energy. So I love it from that standpoint. There's a reason Shanny wanted him. Part of that's offensive familiarity, but he I'm sure he likes the person and the player and the energy that he brings. So I'm excited about that. What do I expect from him? I don't know. He's not gonna become your number one. He's not gonna have 1,000 yards receiving. No, but on Sunday, he very well could have 2 or 3 third down receptions. He could have a touchdown in the red zone. He was the third down guy for sure when he was here before, and he was in the red zone. He was good because he can get open. So I think you're going to feel his impact, even if at the end of the year, let's say he stays healthy and plays 16 games with us, you're going to look back and be like, oh, he only had 30 catches, but you'll be like, oh, dang, but like they were big catches, third downs. Loved KB when he was here before, so I'm excited he's back. So you're going to have your receiver group. If Jennings plays, you're going to have Pearsall, Jennings, KB. Like, I feel pretty solid about that. I feel good about that. No Kittle, but you're going Jake Tonjes. You're going Farrell. Braden Willis was called up. So fine. Hopefully he's just a special teams guy. Can Tonjes become something? He had 3 catches on that final drive. I think he's a good athlete. He played at Cal. He's been in the system now since 2022. Like, can he play and make an impact and not do what Kittle did, but can he be somewhat of a threat in the passing game? Like, we'll see. He was on that last drive. Can he do it again? Anyway, that's kind of what I've got for that. So looking forward, okay, so you've got no Kittle and you've got no Brandon Ayuk right now, okay? No, we're not sure what we're going to get with Brock, okay? But these are your next 4 games. So Kittle is going to miss the New Orleans game, Cardinals, Jaguars, Rams. And the Rams one is the one that just, gosh, that sucks. That really sucks. Side note, you're probably not getting Ayuk back. Even though he's eligible to come back that week, it's a short week. I would love for them to just throw him out there because we need him, but they'll probably just wait and have him come back for Tampa. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I think given where the schedule is, like, it's actually not the worst thing in the world to have Kittle down for a few games. Do I think you should beat the Saints without George Kittle? Yes, 1,000,000%. The only way I'll say this, the only way I think you're losing to the Saints, assuming the defense really is good and plays as well as it did last week, or pretty close to as well as it did last week, the only way you could potentially lose to the Saints is if you have to play Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is just an all-time dud. But they have Spencer Rattler, who is an amazing talent, but I don't expect him to put it together for the whole course of a game. He can make some good throws here and there because he's got that talent. He was a high recruit, played at Oklahoma, then played at South Carolina. He was a really, really touted recruit coming out of high school, and He never fully put it together in college. He's a 5th-round pick, but he has some talent. But the best guys have to do it throw after throw after throw, make every read, every play. And I just don't think he's going to do that. So what I'm saying is I would take Mac Jones over Spencer Rattler. That's why, even if Mac Jones plays, you still feel like you've got a good chance because it's Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan. And you'll still have CMC, and we still have our 1 and 2 receiver if Jennings plays. You feel like you can piece together enough points to get this done because I just think Robert Saleh is going to confuse the heck out of Spencer Rattler, put pressure on him, force him into some bad throws. He didn't play terrible against the Cardinals. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. I think he only had, I feel bad. I should have checked myself. I don't think it was a huge amount of yards. For some reason, the number 188 is in my mind. Someone threw 188 this past weekend. I thought it was Spencer Rattler. If I'm wrong, sorry. But it wasn't it was fine. He was fine. They lost the game. They could have tied it up. The tight end dropped it at in the end zone on that last drive for the Saints, which is a bummer because obviously we would have wanted the Cardinals to lose. I'm hoping, and I mean, the Saints have kind of been in the running off season. Could they get the number 1 overall pick? I'm hoping that a 20-13 loss for the Saints says more about the Cardinals than it does the Saints. It's hard to know. In the first 4 weeks, you just really don't know who's good and who's not. I think most people think the Cardinals are worse than the Seahawks, and then the Cardinals kind of just hung around and let the Saints hang in there. So anyway, my point is I think you're winning this game, even if it's Mac Jones. Mac would have to come out and just really crap the bed. 3 interceptions and a fumble, and given the Saints a short field, I just think if you consistently put the Saints back on their own end of the field and you're not giving them short fields, you should win the game. Which is what I think. Sorry, Saints fans, you guys know this isn't a great year for you. You know Spencer Rattler's not the future. That's what I think. I'll get into it more when we find out officially, Brock or Mac. But I'm just saying, I would take Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan over Spencer Rattler with Kellen Moore. That's what I would do. I could be wrong, and maybe I'm going to get clipped by Saints fans if the Niners lose this Sunday, but we'll see what happens. So no Brock against the Saints wouldn't be the end of the world. I think he plays. No Brock against the Cardinals is a little more concerning because it's a division game. I don't think the Cardinals are as good as the Seahawks, but it's a division game, and the Cardinals beat us last year. Stupid fluky game. Couldn't kick field goals at the end of the game because Jake Moody was out. We literally couldn't kick a field goal. When I say fluke, I hate when people throw the term fluke out there, but the definition, a perfect example of a fluke is your kicker has a high ankle sprain before halftime, and then the rest of the game, you literally can't kick field goals. So there was at least one time where we were in field goal range. We were on the 25 or the 20 or something, and we just had to go for it on 4th and 8. Because we couldn't kick a field goal. Because we didn't have a field goal kicker healthy who could kick. And so, anyway, you get my point. And they had the Jordan Mason fumble, whatever. Just like everything last season, everything in that game went wrong at the end, and we lost. So, no, definitely not a guarantee you beat the Cardinals. It's not a guarantee you beat the Cardinals even with Brock Purdy, as we saw last year. But if Brock has to miss multiple games and is out against the Cardinals, then I would be worried. No Kittle against the Cardinals hurts, but I think, if everyone else is there, I feel good about it. I'm less scared of the Jaguars than I am the Cardinals, so Kittle being out against the Jaguars, not a real scary thing, at least because I don't think defensively the Jaguars are all that great. Travis Hunter played, 9 snaps on defense? So Kittle being out for the Jaguars game is, you never want Kittle gone, but it's not the end of the world. And then him being out against the Rams sucks. There's no doubt about that. That sucks. That's really going to hurt you. That's really going to feel like an uphill battle on the road, short week, Thursday night. So those are kind of the games about. But that Tampa Bay game could be really fun. You're going to have coming off 10 days of rest, and you're going to get Kittle back that week, assuming nothing weird happens. You should get Brandon Ayuk back that week as well. And then you'd be cooking and firing on all cylinders. If you can go, if Brock plays, this is where I'm at. I know Brock didn't have a good year last year. I'm just looking at these next 3 games. If Brock is playing these next 3 games, I think this season should start 4-0. It's just how I feel. You should be 4-0 going into that Rams game. And then if you lose that Rams game, that sucks. But they're probably the best team you're going to play on your schedule. and you're not going to have George Kittle, and that would suck, and you still won't have Brandon Ayuk, that would suck. But if you're 4-1, going into Tampa, getting Kittle back, Brandon Ayuk back on extra rest, like you feel good. You feel good going into that week. So we're on the verge of like picking up some momentum here, assuming these injuries will die down. I'll give you more of a preview going into, tomorrow or the next day once we find out more about Brock Purdy. But hang in there, 49er fans. We can weather the storm. The Kittle thing sucks. Jennings is going to be okay. I think Brocky is going to be all right. I think he's going to play. Even if he doesn't, he's going to be back for the Cardinals. And if he doesn't play this week, I bet it's out of precaution because Kyle Shanahan's like, look, I can win this game with Mac Jones. Let's make sure you're 100% healthy for Arizona. But we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe after last year, maybe he doesn't feel that way. And he's like, I don't care. You're playing if you can get out on the field. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get me to 400. You guys are the best. I'll post another video this week giving you a little Saints preview either tomorrow or the next day. But that's what I got. Here we go. Let's get to 2-0. Go Niners.